Many times people fail to do favor for us. Sometimes even our best friends, our parents, or our family members become unfaithful. Even those whom we trust most may fail us. Human beings made many promises, but many times they have broken their promise. Maybe not intentionally, sometimes they forget, and at times they don't have the ability to fulfill. After all, they are only human and they can fail. If you put your trust on human words or promises, sooner or later you will be disappointed. Even the people that you trust most will fail you. But God never breaks a single of His promise. He will never fail us. The Bible tells us that God is not a man that He should lie, or a son of man that He should change His mind. Has He said, and will He not do it? Or has He spoken, and will He not fulfill? First of all, God is not human. He is God. Human beings can lie or they can change their minds after making many promises. They can lie or they can fail to keep their promise. But God never, because He's not like any one of us. He does not have a fallen nature. He has never lied anyone. He is the sense of righteousness and He cannot lie. He is a faithful God. He is the truth and He speaks only the truth. Secondly, God is unchanging. Unlike all of us who often change, God never changes in His person or His purposes. We may change our minds according to our age or in the changing situations and circumstances, but God never. There has never been a time that God decided to do something good and then 1,000 years later He realized that it was a bad decision. Because of His infinite wisdom, when He makes any promise, it's the best possible promise He can make. There had never been a time when God would say, I could have made a better promise than what I had made. God never needs to make any correction in the promise that He made. He does not need any revision to be done in His promise. He does not need any approval from anyone. He knows the end from the beginning. His promises are good and perfect. If He has planned anything, He will do that. If He has spoken any word, He will fulfill. God will do what He says. God says, so shall my word be that goes forth from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I purpose and prosper in the thing for which I sent it. That is why we should trust God's promises and heed His warnings. He is going to do what He said. Sooner or later He will fulfill what He has promised. Even if it has not happened yet, we should not give up our hope, because at the right time it will surely happen. Even if you cannot see and understand how He can possibly fulfill His promises, you should not be worried. Things will take place according to His promise. Even if it is not reasonable for our finite mind, we just have to believe what He promises and what He said, because He is a righteous God and He will never make a promise that He will not fulfill. If at all God has made any promise, He will surely do it, and that will surely take place. Beloved, in the midst of so many problems of life, when you are flooded with so many thoughts of doubt, and when situations and circumstances seem unfavorable for you, don't give up your hope. Turn to the promise of God. Read those promises which are written in the Bible. Claim that those promises are yours. Trust upon those promises, because God is not a man. He won't lie. He will not change His mind after making a promise. What He said, He will do it. Dear friends, many of whom you trust most might have failed you. Might be your own relatives. Your leaders have failed you. Even your own mother or father, or your own brother or sister, or even your own husband or your own wife might have left you. before fulfilling the promise that they made for you. True, all of them may fail because they are human, but God will never. Today, trust in His promise. Obey whatever He tells you to do. Wait patiently upon God to fulfill His promise for you. Though the whole world may fail you, but God who loves you will never fail you, and He will never forsake you. He said, "Can a mother forget the baby at her breast and have no compassion on the child she has born? Though she may forget, I will not forget you." The Lord will never forget you. He will never fail you. Trust in the promise of God.